despite today and the last couple of days, your health has improved, but the positive impact on your artistic expression has been long-standing. So tell us something about the move from the view from your window to your patch and explain what the patch is.
Okay, so I'll start with those famous words of William Blake from Auguries of Innocence, which are those very famous words, which I think are relevant. To see a world in a grain of sand and heaven in a wild flower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand and infinity in an hour. So I think that line, to see a world in a grain of sand, is something of a touchstone for me. Excuse me. A tiny grain of sand in which we can see a whole world. So the grain of sand in my case was my garden full of birds in which I saw the whole world. And so my my physical world contracted to this chair and a garden and a garden full of birds, but it's almost as if my perceptual world expanded, almost as if almost like a trade-off. And I can contrast that with times in my life when I've been able-bodied and I've been traveling around the world. So my physical world is big, but maybe I don't notice quite so much. And I like the idea of microcosms. So in a microcosm, of course, the small scale, the tiny slither of reality comes to represent the whole. So my garden back then with its birds, that was my first patch. The patch being simply your local area. And I have what I now have as my current patch, which is out there somewhere, out the front door, which is a small area of Lancashire countryside, where when I'm able-bodied, I go walking, and I developed a blog about that about my patch, where I described the nature that I encountered there. And I do very much like the concept of the ordinary, or spelled A-W-E, as in ore, the ore, taking the ore from the ordinary. So appreciating the everyday, appreciating the small scale is become very much important to me. And this is something that I certainly did when I was back in the garden in Wimslow. I was the very, very small scale became my whole world, and I think I appreciated it to the full. And there's a quote, another quote I like very much, which is the quote of W.B. Yeats, which is, "The world is full of magic things, patiently waiting for our senses to grow stronger." So I've got a couple of poems that talk about its own angle. Chips off the block of jackdaw rook, flung over a sandstone sky, each with its own angle. Then mackerel shoal switch, and the whole flock is an angle. Not like that. Digits of woodland below, where oaks and beeches queue round the contours. 4 bards of birdsong finished with a drum fill in woodpecker time. Not like that. Brown and speckled oval, shoots up from bramble, a leap. The first part is salmon, a flap. The second is thrush. It's happened before, but not like that. So everything is unique. We may have seen a thing a bit like that, but it's never just like that. So every moment is unique. Everything we see is unique. And this next poem concerns my favorite bird, which is the barn owl. a bird that I sometimes see over there on the patch. A crack must have opened to let the barn owl in. Slipped, white side down, ghost side up, mothborn from another world. While flashes like bonfire night in very slow motion unleaded the clouds. Tiny nativities make day fragments glow, scattered at first, then melding to an alleluia of skylight. The owl made a vortex of itself, spiral tightened down by the pull of the volwise grass, then, dipping back, changes shape to air-snipping, scissoring shears. Maybe it passed on a baton of morning to the kestrel.